Hello and welcome to our webinar today. My name is Corey Masters and I'm your Customer Success Manager for Lasso here at ECI. And today I will be your host. Basically, think of me as your Lasso person, and I'm just here to make sure you get the most value out of our software. Today's webinar is called Marketing 2024, Igniting the Fun Factor and Unleashing Unstoppable Growth. It'll be presented by the wonderful Kerry Mulcrone with Kerry & Co., Meredith Oliver of Meredith Communication, and Angela McKay with O'Neill Interactive. Just a few things before we get started today and while we're waiting for everyone. Everyone will be muted for today's call. If you have any questions, you can type them in the question box. We'll hold them until the end, okay? This session will also be recorded, so after the webinar, we'll send you a follow-up email with a link to review the recording. I love watching them. When I was an ECI customer, I would go back and watch them whenever I had some downtime, maybe in my lunch break, so I love doing that, and then I would share them with my coworkers, so feel free to do that. If you have any issues or problems with your setup or you can't hear anything or anything, just chat in the box right there, and we'll make sure we can get you all set up. And as we're waiting for more people to come in, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on ECI. We provide integrated cloud-based management solutions across 4 different industries. In our residential home construction division, we have 6 different integrated software solutions to serve builders. Lasso, which is your CRM, Mark Systems, an ERP and construction management tool, LotView, an interactive sitemap tool, InSearch, an interactive design center and visualization tool, Build Tools for custom builders and remodelers, oh my goodness, I can't talk today, Bolt, a management tool designed for trade contractors. And our main goals here at ECI are to help small and medium-sized businesses compete and grow. We do that through our products and by sharing best practices and providing education to the industry, such as through these webinars. So I think we're all ready to go. Again, my name is Corey Masters and I'll be your host today. We're super excited to have Meredith, Angela, and Kerry present Marketing 2024, Igniting the Fun Factor and Unleashing Unstoppable Growth. So take it away, ladies.
Thank you, Corey. And I want to say also a special thank you to Kathy for organizing us all and Corey for hosting today. We are thrilled to be here. All of us, our clients, use Lasso as their CRM of choice. It's one that we're all familiar with. I often joke with our clients and students in classes that I teach, CRM stands for cash recovery machine. And that's exactly what it is, whether you're an on-site or online agent. You get in there, you mine that database, you do your follow-up, those one-on-one meaningful follow-ups, and the next thing you know, you are recovering cash right out of your database. But of course, it matters which one you choose, and we are always thrilled to recommend Lasso and to participate in their program. So thanks for giving us a platform today, because we presented this at the International Builder Show in Vegas, and we had a huge turnout lined down the hallway, right, ladies, of people that couldn't get in. It was amazing. But yet, so many of you didn't necessarily weren't able to attend the show, or you were in another concourse 5 miles away and couldn't get to our seminar in time, or you were at the slot machines, and we just won't talk about that. Either way, if you didn't get to see this presentation, this today is for you. And what's so wonderful about it is that Builder Town Hall was asked to bring a live action version. There's the video version, here's the live action version, to bring a live action version to the Builder Show. We were honored to do it. And they said, Builder Town Hall, answer the question, what is Marketing 2024? So as I thought about the answer, and each of us are going to give you our answers to that, and ultimately what we settled on was, hint, it's called the fun factor. Back to that in a moment. But as I pondered that question, I thought, well, what's the resource that we use at Meredith Communications the most to help us forecast what people are thinking, what questions they're asking, what they're doing? Well, we use Google, of course, and we use Google research. So here's the three of us today. And when I look at Google research, what I see is their newest piece of research, which they've also recently updated. And the headline out of it was buyers stuck in the messy middle. Now, I don't know about you, but when you make that spaghetti in the colander and you just take it out and throw it down on the plate, well, that's kind of what this looks like. And that doesn't seem like a very effective customer journey, does it? So what, excuse me, what Google found is that in the middle of the customer journey between the trigger and the purchase was this messy middle. And what it meant is that consumers were just stuck. They were going from online to referrals to realtor, back to online, back to point of sale, back to the model. They were all over the place, not sure who to trust, where to listen, and certainly not coming out on the other side to the purchase. While in that messy middle, they found that there was two basic mindsets that customers were looping between. They were either exploring, where they were looking at what all their options were. You know, they were doing searches like new homes in Boise, Idaho, home builders in Seattle, Washington, townhomes for sale in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then looking for what they would find. But then once they found some search results and found some answers, they were then evaluating those choices, comparing them against each other, and looking very closely at everything about that online presence. So this looping would go on and on and on. And I don't mean that they were loopy, but they were looping for sure. And we have to get them out of that. And what we found, what Google found, was that you could supercharge your touch points along the way. You could supercharge your search and your search results. You could supercharge your content. That's what we're going to focus on today. And you could supercharge the point of sale, the interaction between the buyer and the consumer, or the salesperson, sorry. So there we have it. That's what Google's research found. And so as we were taking all of this information in, then along comes a very special guest on Builder Town Hall. If you're not familiar, Builder Town Hall is a monthly live event where I kind of think of it as Angela, Kerry, and I's talk show, where we have featured guests from the industry. We interview them. There are no slides. It's definitely not a webinar. It's definitely more like a talk show. And we have a very special guest named by the name of Steve Dennis. He's from outside the industry. He is a global expert in retail and making your retail experience remarkable. And that's his key branded word that he's known for, remarkable. And so he came on the Builder Town Hall to talk to us about new homes and see what parallels we could draw. And one of his main quotes was, "It's a bad time to be boring." And that's when we kind of started to merge this Google research that said, supercharge these touch points with emotion. And we thought, well, what emotions would we want to use? I mean, there's so many you could tap into. And then Steve came along and said, it's a bad time to be boring. And the three of us like to have fun. So we said, we're going to supercharge with the fun factor. So the idea is to make your content, to make the marketing experience, the MX, during the overall customer experience, the CX, more fun. So to show you how to do that and to take over from here, I'm going to hand it over to Angela, who's got some examples to share on how some builders in the industry are doing just that.
Awesome. Thanks, Meredith. So I kind of get the fun part of this presentation, the fun factor of the fun of the presentation. So I'm going to give you some examples because that's what some builder examples and some examples outside the industry of just how to be more relatable, how to be a little more human, to add some personality to your brand, because that's really what it's all about. But first of all, I want to share with you who I think is the best marketer in today's time.
Here she goes.
Deadpool, yes, Ryan Reynolds. If you're not familiar with Ryan Reynolds, I encourage you to follow him. I think he is probably one of the most brilliant marketers in today's in the world today. He owns his own advertising agency, marketing agency, and I know he probably would be a tad expensive to hire, but I think we can learn from him. He is honest, he is relatable, he is a masterful storyteller. If you have not watched Welcome to Wrexham, I highly encourage it. It is a learning moment, and there's learning opportunities in so many ways. It is a marketing lesson, it is a business lesson. It is a lesson in building community, literally and figuratively. And really, that's what you all are doing today, right? He has, and it's a lesson in just understanding the enthrall of British football as well. So it's a fantastic show, and what he and Rob McElhenney have done is just absolutely phenomenal, and the community component of it is fantastic. So he is, and why we love him, because he is funny, he is genuine, and one other thing, he is fast. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fastertizing. So if you were familiar in 2019 at the Peloton ad, and I got to bring up Peloton because I'm a fan.
Of course you do.
Peloton ran a Christmas ad, a beautiful young lady excited to get a Peloton from her husband. It was an absolute fail for many reasons, very stereotypical. But what does Ryan Reynolds do? Within 4 days, he has hired her and produced a video for Aviation Gin, which depicts her sitting at a bar being consoled by her friends over an Aviation Gin martini, bike not included. If you have not seen that ad, if you have not, please Google it. It is probably one of the best examples of fastertizing, easy for me to say this morning, that I have ever seen. But now you can take Nicole at Hartford Home. So this was back in the fall, prior to just at the start of the Travis and Taylor hype. She posted this this future home of Travis and Taylor. So apparently they are moving to Colorado. She also posted this video on Girl Math. So she is taking something that is relatable, that is current, that's what's happening. We're aware of what's going on in the world and what's current, and she is creating this content. What's really, really cool about this is we often say that organic posts don't get a lot of traction. This actually got 2 and 3 times more engagement than any other post. And the reason being is that it was share worthy. And you've got your employees who are sharing this. It's humorous, it's fun, it's relatable. So kudos to Nicole at Hartford. And this next example, you know, very subtle, but that same famous musician is on tour right now. And what is the name of the tour? It's her Eras Tour. So again, a very clever move by CBH Homes, who attracts first-time buyers. And I would imagine that a lot of them are Swifties. There we go. I'll get the hang of this this clicking. There we go. So another example, one of the most important things is your website, right? I don't even need to say that, you know that. And the most important part of your website is that your prospects can find what you build, where you build, and how much it is. But one of the other components is that interwoven in there is that you are instilling trust. You are creating your personality and you're dishing that out. So two examples here. One is Terry's Homes, which is now Landsea Homes, and the website actually is now Landsea. So it's a little, so you'll have a little bit of a hard time finding this this photo. But to me, this photo of their team on the bus just depicts joy, trust. It is a fantastic way just of saying, you know what, build with us. We are great people. The example on the left side is Copper Builders, and they were up for a national award. They were a national silver award winner at this year's nationals at the Builders Show. And if you are familiar with Donald Miller and his story brand approach, this is a book that is a few years old, and I think I said it's 2019, pre-COVID, it seems like ages ago, but they have taken a story brand approach to their website. They are making the buyers the hero of the story. They are guiding their buyers using lifestyle, beautiful photography, relatable content. Check out, I'm not supposed to curse on here, but check out their About Us section because they build good shit.
It's a case study, Angela. It's a case study.
It's a case study. There we go. I'm allowed.
It's a case study. You're not Deadpool. Don't worry.
The next is interactive content. And here I have a great example and a little plug for ECI. This is Esperanza Homes with their InSearch content, which is fantastic software. Let your buyers play on the website. So, you know, at the Builders Show, Matt Riley of New Home Inc. gave a presentation about Matterport tours and how buyers or how builders aren't utilizing all the functionality within the Matterport tours. So incorporating video, incorporating more photos. Check out his site, newhomeinc.com. But interactive content just allows the visitors just to sit up and play, have some fun. Here's another example with Keystone Custom Homes with their photo gallery. So there is no question, no argument. They have beautiful content. They have beautiful designs. They are capitalizing on this. So find your thing. And I'm giving you lots of examples today, not to overwhelm you, but just to find these nuggets so that you can iterate. You can kind of figure out what's our thing? What can I do? So in Keystone's example, they have 15,000 photos on their website in their gallery, and they do a phenomenal job of putting together the reels, and they're getting thousands of views and engagement. Just a fantastic job. This is not an overnight project. This is years in the making, but it really has, they are positioned beautifully, and they allow their prospects, their buyers, their salespeople use it as a tool. It's extremely effective on their site. The next example is events. So we all have events. We're all not quite as lucky or as fortunate as Landmark Homes in Colorado, where they got to host Rock the Block last year. So I know not all of you can do this, but all of you can host events, whether they're small, medium, large, and we can learn from what Landmark Homes did. So they created a logo. They created a web page, they have blog content, they have photos, and there's no reason, big or small, why you can't showcase this and show your personality, show your buyers how much fun these events are. In fact, last Builder Town Hall, Shell Brothers was on and talked about their events. They have branded their own events and they have their own logo for their events. So big or small, you can look at some of these ideas. One builder that I know of hosted a fantastic event at all of their model homes. And when I asked them, I said, oh, fantastic, where are your pictures? And they went, oh, there aren't any. So just a note to remember, don't take things for granted. have a checklist for your sales teams, have a checklist for all of your coordinators and everybody, so that you have some consistency. You've got some great content. A lot of effort goes into these events. They're on-site events. Bring them online so that you can showcase and help people visualize and help people feel like they're there. And not all events have to be in person. So this is an example where Tilson Homes, a builder in Texas, during COVID, really wanted to be able to bring their prospective buyers online and interact with them. So they started a Facebook Live event on a weekly basis. Well, I want to say 250 episodes later, they are still going strong. And it has surpassed their expectations. They have people hopping on Tuesday just to ask a question. They have buyers online. They have prospective buyers. They have salespeople. They have realtors who all participate. It's predictable. They know it's happening every Tuesday afternoon, and they hop on and contribute, ask questions, and learn. This is content that is in the moment, but it's also content that lives on their website, on YouTube, and all of the streaming channels. So just, one of the lessons here as well is perseverance. I think we all sometimes, you have to just start. And this is an example of, they started with probably just a few viewers, but they kept going. And this is the key. I think so many people stop partway through and don't keep going. It's what we've done with Builder Town Hall, Meredith. We've kept going, right? And we just have built, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. The next item is email. And I could talk for hours about email marketing if you know me, but I often get a question of, is email still effective? And let me tell you that people will open the email that they want to receive. Let that sink in, right? So we have a tendency to push information. We have a tendency to push our agenda, what we want people to receive. Instead, we want to pull people in. So going back to the Donald Miller story brand approach, make your prospective buyers the hero. You are guiding them and you're solving their problem. So we can think about email in that sense, during the journey. Just help them decide, hey, you know what? I want to build a home with these guys. They know what they understand me. They get me. I relate to them. So one of the things that, I'm showing 3 examples outside the industry, because I have to say, generally speaking, and there are exceptions to the rule, this industry doesn't do a great job of email marketing. So what I would love you to all do is think about the brands that you really like and think about the brands you follow. And I'm not talking the big brands like the Lululemons, the Gaps, and Pottery Barns and those. Think about some of the smaller brands and what you really like about them and how they communicate with you. So my 3 examples here are, one is Olokai. It's a Hawaiian shoe company, and they just do things a little differently. So smaller brands tend to be a little edgier. They can maybe get away with a little more. But they're a little more thoughtful in their approach. So they send me videos of, and they're not, yes, they interject with selling shoes, but they also give me information that is helpful to me. The next is BarkBox, and it's my monthly indulgence for my dog. I'm not sure who it's for, whether it's me or for my dog, but they have some humor in their approach, and I look forward to reading their emails because I get a kick out of them. They make me happy. They bring joy. The third example is Kendra Scott, and this is actually an email that came to Meredith, and it's a boring transactional, your shipment is on its way. Thank you for your order, right? Nothing could be more boring than that. But It's not boring, because you know what they say? The title of it is Let the Obsessive Tracking Begin. So let them, it's confirmation of your order. But the other thing, and you can't really see it on this email or this slide, but one of the buttons there is, oh my gosh, what does it say now, Meredith? Now I'm losing my, it's let the obsessive shopping begin, and I'm losing my.
I can't remember. I know, me either.
I know, and it's shop. Browse while you wait. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Browse while you wait. Sorry, I had a little moment.
I did.
And you know what? And Meredith did, because you know what a great idea for an auto reply email. So your prospects have signed up on your website, send them an email, always have a call to action, browse while you wait. So have them click, have them, send them to that amazing photo gallery, or send them to a video about that community. Your OSC is probably following up within 5 minutes. Maybe they're on the website when the OSC calls, right? So just a fantastic take on a call to action that can be really effective. And if you don't have an auto reply email, you've probably heard me say this before, please set one up. In Lasso, if you're using Lasso, which is the best CRM, you can easily set up auto reply emails for all of your prospects off the website. Customize that email. It is the #1 email that gets opened. And the reason being, people are expecting it. They have just signed up. So just a reminder, you don't want to be Charlie Brown's teacher, right? The wah, wah, wah. Talk to them and really position your message in a way that with information that they want to receive. And it goes a long way. Be relatable, be humorous. It's okay to be humorous. Put a little bit of personality into your emails. When it's too corporate sounding, it starts to be like Charlie Brown's teacher. So there's a store in Canada, and I think it's part of the TJ Maxx brand, so you're probably very familiar with it. But the tagline is "Find all the things you didn't know you needed," right? So think about your buyers when they get to your website and they get to your store. It's your store, essentially. And treat your prospects when they're on your website, they are your customers. So content, dish them content out that they didn't really know they needed. And so I'm going to show 2 examples from builders that I think are doing a fantastic job of this. One is Eastbrook Homes. They have coined the term Eastbrook University. And let me preface by saying this is not an overnight task. They have checklists, they have resource guides, they have videos, they have all of the resources that a new buyer doesn't realize they need, but has the ability to port over and consume on how to buy a home. The second example is Insight Homes, which is a builder out of Delaware, and they build really energy efficient homes. And what they have done is they are providing some education, because buyers don't always understand why that's important, what Insight will do for them, and the energy savings that they will help the buyer realize when they build with Insight. So Insight has done a great job of providing videos on really kind of probably, boring type of things, but exciting because it's money saving. So very good 2 examples that have been really effective for both builders. So, and from a content perspective, I know that a lot of you don't have the budget to hire Joanna and Clea to write blog posts, but this was kudos to Taylor Morrison for a brilliant move, in my opinion. They hired Joanna and Clea to have some as a special guest on their blog. buyers want to be able to visualize. They want to be able to relate to the homes that you're building and how they can live in them, how they can see themselves. So it doesn't mean that you have to go all out and hire a celebrity. But what you can do is hire a local home organization expert or hire a local designer to write and be a guest blog post about, this is what I would do with the pantry in this home. This is what I would do to organize a closet. This is how I would lay out this living room or this family room. So engage. It's a win-win for everybody, and it just provides additional content. So great example. And as a side note, if you are not following Taylor Morrison on Instagram right now, they are killing it with their Instagram posts on just the relatability of new home buyers and the challenges faced today. They're doing a fantastic job, so I encourage you to check them out. Pardon me, one of the last things is realtors. I consider realtors to be influencers for you all. They are an important part of your marketing plan and bringing buyers to you. So again, and this is Antares Homes, which is now Landsea Homes, but they have created, I want to say a few years ago, they created a private Facebook group just for realtors in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There are well over 1,000 realtors who belong to this group. The group is designed to be engaging. They can ask questions. Landsea can now post updates, incentives. They can engage and talk with their realtors online. They've gone one step further. So what they have also created on their website is a portal specifically for realtors. So realtors can sign up, can sign into the portal. They get dished out exclusive realtor content. They can upload their photos and upload their logo, and they can download brochures. So it allows Antares Landsea to manage their realtors, allow the realtors to be a little bit self-serving as well. And it has worked in a beautiful, beautiful, effective way. The last item is I just want to leave this with you. This is a HubSpot stat that 71% of consumers prefer self-service tools. So I'm actually surprised that it's only 71%. I think it actually is a lot higher. This doesn't discriminate with age. I'm a little older, and I still want to be able to do everything as much as I can by myself. So when we're thinking about incorporating the fun factor, incorporating some personality into your online tools, we can think about chatbots and apps and that guided learning. So I incorporate, and this is just something to think about, because incorporating a chatbot is one thing, but really incorporating the chatbot with some personality and guided learning is another. So I want you to think about making sure that that experience online is fun, is engaging, and not frustrating. So I've given you some examples today, and now I'm going to pass this over to Meredith because she's going to show you how to do it.
And we promise Kerry is going to get to speak. I spoke, and Angela, and then back to me. We promise we are gonna, Kerry is not in a hostage video. She is going to get to speak just any moment now. But Angela's right. This section, what I wanted to do was to help you figure out how would you put one of these campaigns together and make sure that it's successful. Because some days you might feel super creative and have lots of great ideas on how to tie into something in pop culture or do fast advertising. And other days, it's just blank up there. And you need to know how to turn on your brain and your ideas. So that's what I'm going to help you do. Solo Stove came out with a campaign last fall. They partnered with Snoop Dogg, who posted on his social media. It was about November 2023. It was, fall. So it's like perfect fire pit weather time. And he posted on his social media, "I've given up the smoke." And if you know anything about Snoop Dogg, you know that smoking certain substances, he's very well known for. Well, everybody thought, oh my gosh, Snoop Dogg's gone straight, because there was no Solo Stove in the picture. It was just him and like a puff of smoke type thing. It went viral and it went wild. Within a couple of days, Solo Stove came out, and he came out that he was going smokeless with his new Solo Stove fire pit, which is what Solo Stoves are known for. And while the campaign did millions upon millions upon millions of impressions and shares and comments and engagement, I mean, from a viral perspective, it was all fun factor. Unfortunately, the person in charge of the sales division was not having fun, because the sales numbers did not match the fun of the campaign. So we always have to keep in mind that while we are trying to be creative and have fun, we also want to design things that will generate more new sales. So in this section, I'm going to help you combine those two thoughts together and give you the keys to fun factor success. So key number one, first, I want you to use your human intelligence. I want you to use your HI. Using your human intelligence means, before we get to the AI, I want you to use the HI. It means that as an experienced new home sales or marketing professional, with you and your team, or if it's just you and your partner, you work together to brainstorm and answer these questions. And they're the kind of who, what, where, when, how type questions that we can ask in any scenario when we're trying to drill down. But before we create a fun campaign, we really have to know what location, what community are you targeting, or what product. Based on the community or the product type or the location, that'll tell us you should already have a target market profile, a buyer persona for that product or location. If you don't, then create one before you create a campaign. Because let's be honest, if you happen to own a Solo Stove or are familiar with that brand, would you necessarily have equated Snoop Dogg's target audience with the Solo Stove target audience? Maybe, but I kind of feel maybe not. I'm not an expert on either one, but it feels like a bit of a mismatch. So this is where your fun can go really wrong and fail to produce sales. Of course, you have to determine if we're doing a campaign in today's market, it's likely going to have some kind of incentive with purchase, some type of interest rate promotion. Everybody is doing lots of versions of these. We're all trying to be clever and think about a new way to say basically the same thing, which is we'll lock in for X number of points this interest rate for so many years until it goes up, and hopefully by then the Fed will have lowered all the rates, and yay for us, right? I mean, we're all basically selling that. Oh, how fun is that? Oh, there's glitter. Oh, thanks, Ange.
I know, I do it.
Jazz hands. So we have to ask ourselves, what do we want our home shoppers to do as a result of this campaign? You're like, buy a home, duh? Not necessarily. Some campaigns are to add realtors to our realtor list or our realtor private Facebook group. Some campaigns might be to add names to an email list for buyers, like a very big, broad campaign. Some are very narrow, trying to get feet in a door. We can be a lot more specific about our goal. So we want to be really laser focused on what do we want out of people when we do this, and essentially then, as Angela said, putting us in their shoes. What's in it for them. Okay, so once you've used your human intelligence, then you're going to continue with that. Key number 2 is you're going to need a compelling marketing hook, an attention grabber, something that says, look at us, right? That headline, like the eras that where CBH Homes use that in the name of their promotion. So this is what Ryan Reynolds is so good at doing. I pre-gamed last night for today's Ryan Reynolds reference by watching the new episodes of Welcome to Wrexham. Season 3 is out, and I feel there needs to be more Ryan Reynolds in the new episodes. So if you don't have a compelling marketing hook just tripping off your tongue, something cool and fun, hint, use AI. So this is where I encourage you. Probably my favorite use of AI is for brainstorming. And we can use it to help us find, if you go back a slide, Ange, to help us kind of find ideas. Now, you'll need to have a direction that you're going. This is the human intelligence part. Because your prompt, what you ask AI is very important. So you might want to ask it, what's coming up in the national fill in the blank day, a national chocolate chip donut day, national whatever day, and it'll tell you. You can ask, it'll tell you. That's a use. You can say, give me all of the words that are associated with the summer season, and AI will throw out a whole list of words for you. And in one of those words is probably your marketing hook for the title or tagline of your promotion. You can use it to brainstorm pop culture trends or phrases, trending hashtags. If you want to play off a household name of a song or movie title, these are just ways like that you can tie into popular things that people know, that will be top of mind, that will give you that fast advertising feel. And then that's when you do your brainstorming. So you can, when you're brainstorming with AI, you can do it in the form of a list. And that's probably my favorite one, is I ask ChatGPT for lists all the time. Give me the top 10 this. Give me 15 synonyms for this word. I'm conducting an interview. I do this on Town Hall all the time, by the way. I'm conducting an interview with the author of such and such a book, and this person is an expert in this and this and this. What are 10 questions that I should ask this person? And 5 of them are not good. 5 of them are a seed, a working seed of something that I can build off of. Because let's face it, when we're trying to have the fun factor, it's that blank screen and blinking cursor that is so hard to get over the hump. So you can ask it questions to ask, which you could then turn into blog content or social media content. But don't forget, you can also ask it for answers to questions. I do this a lot. Give me 5 things that a knight of the round table, 5 tools a knight of the round table would have in their saddlebag. Like weird stuff. And it will totally list all those items. And then I'm like, okay, they would have a this and a this. Because all I can think of is a sword. And remember, when you're trying to be creative, the first thing you think of is the same thing as the first thing that everybody else thinks of. And don't do that one. Do something else. Do something more creative. So I'm always asking it crazy questions to find out answers to things I don't know. I know that used to be called Google, but now we kind of do that with ChatGPT. So an example that I gave back at the Builder Show, that I followed this particular path and ended up with a sample campaign just for this presentation based on National Board Game Day on April 11th. And the reason that I picked this particular idea is because it's incredibly relatable. It is an activity that you do at home. It's highly, what am I trying to say, correlates or with home. You can do it, board games at school, maybe the community center, but otherwise it's mostly always done at home. If you have a target market that is family oriented, so that's great. So this is perfect for second time or third time move ups. It's great visuals. Everybody knows what a Monopoly board looks like. Everybody knows what chess looks like. And therefore, it's going to be easy for your graphic designer to design around it. So how would we then carry out a campaign for National Board Game Day? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is figure out the timing of our campaign and the channels that we're going to use for it. Now, hence, here again is where we're going to plug in our AI. We're going to use our HI on some of this, and we're going to plug in some HI. So 45 days from the launch of this particular board game campaign, we're going to start with some organic social media posts, start with some blog posts, maybe one a week or every other week, and of course, some email to your list. We'll introduce the campaign, we'll use our catchphrase, we'll write a blog about vintage board games are back since COVID, all kinds of fun, just relatable. We're not selling yet. We're introducing and announcing the campaign, and we're having fun with it. And we're going to do that until about the 30-day mark. At the 30-day mark, that is when we're going to really, through launch, we're going to start 2 event types. One event will be a home buyer. It could be a homeowner, bring a friend type of event, you decide, but we're going to have game night at the model home, one of your model homes, the community or product line that you're really pushing. Of course, you're going to be very busy taking lots of photos, lots of video, portrait and landscape of this event. And then you're also going to have an internal amongst your team at your builder so that you can build on that culture. And that's where Kerry's getting ready to come in here just any second now and have some fun with each other and have a game off. And you're going to take pictures and video of both of those. Okay, so then we're going to take our pictures and video from our 2 events, and that's what we're going to use for the rest of the campaign for all of our organic types of social posts and emails. But then when we're getting ready to start selling, right about, I'd say day 20, that's when we're going to hit them with the offer. Now the offer, we're going to use email primarily, we're going to use paid social and paid search / paid search and using their display. So we'll have to use some paid digital dollars to really push whatever is the incentive with purchase or the interest rate offer or whatever it is. But all this time, you've been building excitement in a fun, relatable way with just the fun of board games and the feeling of community that you can build when you have neighbors playing with each other or amongst a family playing. Okay, so then the next set timing will be when Angela clicks the slide. And so how you might be thinking to yourself, how am I going to come up with all that content? How am I going to do a bunch of emails and organic posts and social media ads? And that's totally overwhelming. It is just me, or it's just me and a partner. It's just me and my marketing consultant or whatever. Hence AI. This is where we're going to use AI for content creation. So I think most folks, maybe they think about AI in terms of just writing content for you. And that's where I really wanted to hit hard the idea of brainstorming, because it's a fantastic brainstorming partner. And then I also wanted to hit that, yes, it will write copy for you, but remember, it's only first draft quality copy, like rough first draft. Like you might get a couple of sentences out of an entire piece that you can use, plug in, ask another question, get even better stuff, plug in, ask another question, get even better stuff. What I prefer to do is I like to use it to edit material that I've already written, that's already in my voice, that I've already composed, but maybe I'd like it to sound a little more professional, or because I've got plenty of humor of my own and conversational nature to my writing. I want to level it up. For some of you, it's the opposite. Like Angela was saying, your content comes off a little formal. And so you want to ask it to help you be more conversational. So it can definitely help you edit, whether you need help with grammar or tone or whatever. Also, now here's the winner. It will expand your content. So if you were to write one really good social media post for your campaign, you could even write two that says exactly what you want. It's hitting that target audience. It's got the hashtags you want. This is going to point that AI in the direction that you want it to go. And you say, please write an additional 7, 10 posts on this schedule using this current post as the inspiration. You could put in one blog post about games and playing board games, and you could ask it to write you 3 more, and it would. And that's when it actually turns out really good content. You feed it something and ask it to expand it. Another one of my favorite uses is I will take a page of a website, I will put that URL into the prompt, and I will say, summarize this page for me. And it will write a beautiful summary of that page. Maybe that's a community that the builder wants to post more about on social, or it's a competitor site, who knows what it is, but it will summarize all kinds of things for you. I uploaded a PowerPoint and said, summarize this presentation in 350 words. And it did. Give me 4 learning objectives from this presentation. You can upload PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, audio files, transcripts, everything, anything, and then ask it to summarize for you, and it will do it. And boy, does that make writing your descriptions for your YouTube videos so much easier. And then don't forget the plug-in power of then adding in something like Grammarly to your list of tools. So between Grammarly and ChatGPT, I'm constantly watching my tone, putting in all my commas in the right place, etc., etc. They work together really well. Okay, so AI for content creation, and then as we put all the pieces together, I have to turn it over to Kerry, because without the team, without the right vibe, none of this works, right, Kerry?
Right. So with 3 minutes, I'm going to walk you through in the fastest way I can what I really think about the people part of all of this. You've gotten the examples, you've gotten all that. And if you know me, I always make words out of words. So I say, let's get remarkable. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it is the combination of all the people. Your company is the team. It's leadership, it's marketing, it's sales, and everybody in your company is able to participate in this. You'll see in just a second, I'll flip through these really quick so at least you get a peek at them, that everyone has a seat on the bus. Everyone, just like when Ange used this picture, is that they share a voice. This is Copper Builders again, like we talked about before, because they're innovative. But what I want you to know is they created the culture. It didn't just come organically. Everybody that is using hoping and wishing as a strategy to get a really cool culture has to understand that Yes, there's a fun factor. Yes, everybody has a voice, and you have to use that with a process. So what they do that on this, what I want you to understand is they're always rethinking, they're always reimagining, so they're never stuck with their next thing to be remarkable. So as you go through to get to the next one, Ange, is that how do you get it? What do you get from it? And how do you get there? So it starts with leadership and it gets everybody unified. That gets everybody in alignment. You need to have people thinking, I don't mean the same, but you want the different voices, but how do you unify and align them? You have to go with marketing. They have to get data because there has to be data behind it. When all these people showed up to your website or your event, what was it that got them there? What is the data that drove that? And when you do this together, then you get more agile. You kind of know, you can decide, you can pivot, you can move, but you have to use your data and everybody has to have a seat at that table. What you really get from that is a very maximized sales and marketing team, departments, but it's more, so to speak, to your company. Your company runs on all cylinders when you have everybody that's involved. So how do you get it? You know, really quickly, I just have a couple minutes, but take off the working in silos. That's not my job. It's this, it's that, it's everybody in silos. If you bring them all together, like when you're in a freeway and everyone's just, well, how does everybody just know that we all drive 70 miles an hour? And at some point we all get to where we want to go, right? We want to do that in our company. We want to be on a one-way freeway. You don't want the silo. You want leadership, marketing, and sales working together because that's what gives you your culture. And your culture is something that has definition to it. It also is your process. So what I want you to understand is your new opportunities come when you've got a process in place with who brings new information. You can move on to the next one, Ange. How does new information go to the top? How do we use it? How do we put it together? Because if everybody just thinks great things and there's not a place and a platform for that to come together, then it just keeps everybody's great idea to everybody else. And then that's not how you get fresh. So I ask you as companies, how do you celebrate your moments? Like internally as a company and externally. If you have a process with embedded touch points, you will know it, you will be governed to celebrate moments. Like, how do you celebrate when a contract is written as a builder? What happens? What happens inside the office? What happens to the customer? What does the sales team? That's an embedded touch point. When someone is about to close or go to the design studio, what do you do with that? What is the touch point that happens as a process? What about your moments inside with your birthdays, with your birth announcements, with your all of that? Where do you have in your process your celebrations? Because if you just, oh, it's somebody's birthday, we should get a cake. No, that's not right. So it's not about the things that you do sometimes, like today we celebrated someone's this. It's what you do all the time that drives. And what I'll just close with everybody today is the fact that joy in your companies needs to be, it's a magic moment and it needs to be an included quality feature. Because here's what I know to be true. What keeps you in business for a really, really long time, what keeps your company with a wonderful legacy is the joy in it, because your joy drives your purpose. You know what makes you joyful. That gives you purpose. And when you've got a purpose, then you've got passion. And everyone always asks me, how do you drive passion home? By embedding joy and purpose into your processes. Don't leave them alone. All of this marketing, all of these ideas from Angela and Meredith are really great. But if you miss the fact of joy and purpose and passion embedded into your company culture with a process, then really you've missed everything. You've missed your moments of opportunity. It just flew right by you. We could have done that, like with photography or whatever it is, but make joy an included feature. I just promise you that that's your future in your company. And with that, I think that we just want everybody to know that we thank you. It is about your processes. It is about all these ideas, but really, everybody, it's about your people. It is about your people. And what we want you to know is that good friends make us better people within your company and with us. They cheer you on when all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't go on any further. They will. And they keep us humble when we reach the top. So this is to join our Facebook community. And we just want to leave everybody today with some really great ideas to absorb, but always know, don't work in silos. Work with Departments Without Borders, because people and processes will drive your culture, and your biggest quality included feature in all your homes is joy. Thanks, everybody.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies. I think this was amazing. I can't believe you packed so much knowledge into 45 minutes of nonstop talking. It was fantastic. I love all the ideas, because you had concrete ideas and examples and things to do, and I think people love that. So I really appreciate you doing this for us. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I know we're always just trying to do it in 1 hour. I see there might be one question here asking if you use Chat GPT Plus. Is that what you ladies use normally?
And that's the paid, pardon me, it's the paid subscription to ChatGPT. No question, it provides you with better results. It also allows you to save your prompts and use your prompts over again. Meredith, I don't know if there's anything else to add, other features as well, but
I
definitely
think
worth the, I think it's $25 a month or something, I think, per user.
Yeah, but it starts to get you, and what you get back is the culmination of the things that you've been asking, and all of a sudden my voice is way stronger with my paid subscription. I'm not having to do as much research to make them dig, because it's kind of started to read my mind.
It's unbelievable. And I had one more question for Angela. Did you pick Ryan Reynolds because he's Canadian?
He's a Vancouver. He's a Vancouver boy. And on that note, I am just going to put my ball cap on because it is game night. And go Canucks go. I'm sorry if there's any Oilers fans in the house, but it's our night.
Yes.
So I don't think there's any more questions in here that I see from the chat, but I'm sure they'll be able to find you in your Facebook community page. Is fantastic. It's a great way to not feel isolated, kind of like Kerry said. You get great ideas from your Facebook group too. So I think it's fantastic, and everyone should join. So to everyone that joined us today, thank you so much. As you exit, you'll see a small survey. It super helps us when you fill it out, so we know what to do for future events. But thank you, ladies, so much for your time. We really appreciated it.
Thanks, Corey.